Okay, we have started our hike on Jämtlandstriangeln, which is a 3-day hike. First day goes from Storulvån to Sylarna, it's about 16 kilometers. And the second day we go from Sylarna to Blåhammaren, which is the longest day, it's about 18 kilometers. And the last day, third day, it's about 14 kilometers back. So it's a triangular shaped trek in Jämtland, Sweden. Here we go! How are you feeling?
Good.
Is it hard?
No.
It is. How was the first day?
It was very, very hard, and I am very, very tired.
Knut.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Gud vad gott, vad kan du för müsli?
Nu ringer jag.
So, day 2 of the trek. We're leaving our tent. We're not going to start section 2 on this sort of triangular shaped trek today. We will try to instead ascend Storsylen. It's the tallest peak of Jämtland. It lies about 1,743 meters above sea level. From that peak you can continue to ascend an additional 90 meters, but then you have to cross the border to Norway. The higher peak is actually in Norway, so it doesn't count as the highest peak in Jämtland. We might be in for a tough day. Here we go! So we made it to the top of the pyramid. Now we continue along this ridge up until we reach Storsylen. Good job, almost there. Ooh, it's really high. Woo. So actually I've been here before once, 4 years ago with my girlfriend. We came here and then we turned around. This is the second time I'm here, and this time I brought my brother, so yeah, we will ascend. Woo! We made it!
Kind of.
So this is the tallest peak in Jämtland. Over there we're crossing over to Norway, which is the tallest peak on this mountain, Storsylen. So we made it to the top, actually in Norway. So yeah, wasn't too bad. Now we go down. So we made it down. Took us maybe 3.5 hours to get to the top. 2.5 hours to get down again. Really feeling our legs. Here we go. That is so good. So they have a drying room here. Just what we needed. I wouldn't mind staying here drying up myself. Let's do this. Good night. So we're leaving Blåhammaren, starting our trek on the third section, the final section of the Jämtlandstriangle, headed towards Storulvån, which is the place where we started this trek. So it's day 4 and it's about 14 kilometers. So the shortest section on this trek, mostly downhill, so we expect the day to be quite chill. Alright, here we go. So, that was Jämtlandstriangeln in Sweden. If you would like to do this trek yourself, I will share with you some good to know details. There are 12 renowned so-called signature trails in Sweden, and this is one of them. We started our trek in Storulvån, which we reached by a connecting bus from Enafors that was easily reached by an overnight train from Stockholm. From there, we started our 16-kilometer hike towards Sylarna. We passed plenty of water streams along the way with clean water suitable for drinking, so you do not need to fill up multiple bottles while hiking. In each end of the triangle you see, they had rooms with proper beds and where you could also purchase food, not only to bring with you, but also as great restaurants. So if you don't want to carry your own food like we did, you can just buy it there. The rooms as well as the dinners could be booked in advance, so don't count on it being available unless doing so. Once we reached Sylarna, we pitched our tent on the other side of a river. The Jämtlandstriangeln is 47 kilometers long and is typically split into 3 days, but we decided to add another day to ascend Storsylen, summing up to a total of 56 kilometers during 4 days. The second day we climbed Storsylen, which took about 5 hours up and down, so a fairly short hike that I highly recommend doing if you have room for it in your schedule. The views were just amazing and you get to climb over to Norway. We didn't meet too many people while hiking it, but to our surprise the top was full of Norwegians that climbed from the other side. Our third day we went back onto the second section of the triangle towards Blåhammaren. Around here was the spot where we encountered the huge reindeer herd strolling around. The second section is the longest section of the trek at around 19 kilometers, but halfway through there is a small shelter where you can warm yourself and prepare lunch if the weather becomes bad, like it did for us. Reaching Blåhammaren, we felt relief that they had heated drying rooms as we were soaked having walked in rain for hours. We pitched our tent close by. The final day was only 12 kilometers long hiking back to Storulvån from where we started. It was definitely the easiest section as it was not only the shortest distance but also mostly downhill. We had booked a bus taking us back to our connecting train from Storulvån at 3 o'clock and we felt no stress getting there on time, so I recommend you do the same. For a trail in Sweden to qualify as a signature trail, according to the Swedish Tourist Association, it needs to have distinct beauty of the surroundings and it needs to be characteristic for its part of the country. For me, Jämtlandstriangeln was a perfect entry-level Swedish hiking experience that offers some diversity with each section. You really do get this sort of Lord of the Rings vibe with these far-stretching landscapes and snow-capped mountains in the horizon. The only downside for us was a lot of mosquitoes whenever stopping, so it varies by season and from year to year, but we got unlucky, so be sure to bring a mosquito net. It is quite famous in Sweden, this trek, so you will not be alone on the trail, especially if you hike during peak season, which is July to August. Another reason why this trek is so great is how suitable it is for everyone. You don't have to bring a tent if you do not want to, as you can book all cabins beforehand. You can even eat well-cooked food at restaurants every evening if you want to do that. You even get the possibility to do some more adventurous hikes, such as ascending Storsylen along the way. And if not everyone in your hiking crew are as adventurous as you, they can easily spend a day near Sylarna to just explore the area. If you like this video, please consider subscribing as it ultimately enables me to get out and do more of these treks and videos to share. I will put links in the description for all the places we stayed along the route, as well as trail map, and if you have any questions about this trek or video or feedback, comment below and I will make sure to reply. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you again.